The quality of this video is astounding. You all look magnificent. Okay, so welcome to Cloudtown Tuesday, the day where I share a page from my graphic novel Cloudtown and tell you about the process of making it. It's like a editor's commentary on a DVD. So if you're a comics fan, if you're a friend of mine, if you are an artist looking for insights into the comics process, here it is. Let's go. Let's do it. I'm gonna try talking.
I want people to see me.
I'm gonna play the time lapse of me doing this page.
All right.
And like we're gonna talk about it.
Are you gonna be in the video too?
Yeah, I am in it.
You gotta.
I'm definitely in it.
Hey, whoa! I don't know if there's enough space for you to sit on.
No, I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna
That's
crouch.
actually my comics.
I'm gonna sit on your comics.
Don't.
We're the Three Stooges.
Don't do that.
Time lapse we play.
All right, it's like they're gonna run something.
All right, you guys take the wheel.
So.
Oh, this is a time lapse.
Yeah. So this I don't actually remember when this was drawn because the process of like the spread page in the zine version was a 2-page spread, and I spent a lot of time following this bird that actually mattered more in the story in the earlier version, like around.
Where's the bird? Like,
It's not even in here.
my God.
I think it comes back and has like a minor role in the final version.
I like how you laid it out.
But
Of the city scene.
So like this. Okay, so this was for the actual comic because at this point I found out I wasn't gonna have space for a thank you page, maybe even. Like I thought I was only allowed 224 pages, so I wanted to put in like little thank yous to my friends. It's okay. It's fine. No cursing, Kurt. My Patreons are used to bad quality, but they're not used to cursing. So I started putting in thank yous in this. Like that's my buddy Nate, who I did Bears in Space with.
Oh, that's cool.
And like that is the Tell Me Something I Don't Know podcast logo, which was Jim Rugg's podcast prior to. Ed was on it for a while at the end,
That's
and
cool.
also Jason Lex, who's a cartoonist from Pittsburgh.
So that's
as well.
like, year zero.
I mean, they all were doing stuff even before that.
Oh.
I definitely was excited about having a car crash in the second story up here. The thing that is weird to me watching this is like it seems like
Neat.
I have like no idea what I'm doing. I'm just like drawing bits here, bits there.
I generally feel like that. Like you generally don't know what you're doing. I mean, no, not you, but me. Like when I'm drawing, I don't know what I'm doing, and then it always feels like a struggle.
Yeah.
So, I think that's just part of it.
But I wanted a foot.
That's cool. The one thing I think I would change, in how you're doing it, is the lines for the foreground, middle ground, and background are equivalent.
Yeah.
So it blends, it flattens.
Yeah. Get out of here. So Alyssa is actually at work right now while we are just at leisure time, so she has to keep running back to the desk to help people.
Yeah. So
wait, what does that mean?
So like this part right here is the same line
it's like a third
quality as the background.
Yeah.
And also you have the same level of detail roughly as the background and the foreground.
Right, so that's something I didn't learn about till I worked at this comic shop. So we're in Mission Comics right now. I drew this entire graphic novel and then got a job here. And I read 5,000 more pages of comics like since getting this job here than I had prior.
I've bought comics and I put them on a stack. Is that equivalent?
You've read a lot of pages. And you went to art school. I went to writing school. But like, so for example, I found out that like manga artists, like usually the main artist does the main characters, which are usually the foreground, and they all do it in a thicker line.
Right.
And so I only discovered that's one way that artists create perspective is by having the line quality smaller when it's farther back, basically, or bluer, or faded.
And generally, it's like with atmospheric perspective, there's going to be a thinner line and less detail the farther you go back.
I mean, also, this is my first time really working in an infinite zoom situation, working digitally on an iPad where you can always zoom in to get detail in the background. Right. And it is one of the great strengths and weaknesses of iPads is like...
Right. Or just doing digital work in general.
You have the ability to constantly add more detail and therefore... things can get flat weirdly.
And also the danger of that, because I do a lot of that when I do digital, where I zoom in, throw in some lines, and zoom out, is that sometimes you'll start putting in detail that's not going to be able to be shown on the page. It'll just be a blob or come out as gray or black when it's printed.
Like, there's this little dog in the footprint of this creature. Like, hey, stop cursing on my thing. It's fine. This is kids' books. Kirt has a super adult book that's doing very well.
We'll bleep those.
I won't. It takes time. Or maybe I'll just cut him out. I'll be like, stop cursing. But yeah, I thought, like, to make it more dramatic, to have, like, the sense of loss. Like, so.
I see.
I was having him
howl. Because that's his house.
Yeah. And in the early version,
but his doghouse is fine.
Yeah, he's fine.
So he's
all
like,
right.
he should be okay.
Well, in the earlier version of this story, this is like the opening page now, kind of. But they used to, like, they had a night where they survived a hurricane.
Him meaning a
giant monster
king.
But it was like kind of weighted reveal. Because they were like hiding in their basements, much like you might with the normal hurricane or storm, like I did when I was a kid, and storms would go through the East Coast. And like then they're on their way to school, and then they're like, wait, isn't that like Mr. T's house, like their old teacher or something? It's like they're like, yes. It's not what we're different kinds of writers, you know.
Also, talking about atmospheric perspective, you put in one tone down for the foreground, middle ground, and background.
Yeah.
You go either way, but you can have like a lighter tone in the background, and then it slowly gets darker as you go foreground, or the reverse.
Yeah.
You know, and that helps create that illusion.
I think
going into depth.
As you see me like working this forever, like as it gets later, you'll see me kind of intuit that. Even though I don't know what I'm doing, like, and sometimes I found one of the things that's made me faster as an artist is just understanding some of those rules a little bit.
I really like the lettering, the Cloud Town and the arrow and the belt.
Thanks. Yeah, this is like supposed to be like this.
So the belt, what's the belt again?
It's just the giant wall. It never gets in detail. It's just the wall that goes across the island, and the like the rip in the universe is on the other side of the.
Okay.
There's that howling. But like, yeah, it's not really something that most people will see. Although one of the ideas, like, I also don't know what that like little billboard is in the background. I suspect it's a joke. Or something.
Oh, you forgot?
I don't know, and it's too small to see.
You're doing end comic advertising, hoping like Coca-Cola.
Maybe it was top of the line. One of my old comics opens with a billboard.
So is this somewhat of like how you know, like, and sometimes you have a map and it's pointing out like different landmarks?
At the very opening, I have like there's like an app that shows you where your kids are basically on the island, especially like when there's a monster coming. So before this was a page where you kind of saw them
this
out.
music's gonna be in the video.
It seems alright. And it's like I drew pears and apples on the wallpaper here. It's like, why did I do that?
Where?
There's like the wallpaper behind this lamp in this house.
Yeah, that actually feels like it's particles on the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, that's neat. You did a tone effect?
Yeah, I was experimenting with it, and I started doing more and more of that. Like, honestly, because I bought that program that let me do it.
Yeah.
But also,
that's nice texture too.
My editor was trying to, wanted me to use different shades and stuff, but I didn't understand what she was talking about.
At the beginning of the project, it was like it's just going to be two colors.
Yeah, that was
black and then this
black and blue. And then I tried to convince them to make the two colors like colors that could mix, right? Like a dark blue and a dark red. Right. That then I could do purple and red and pink and light blue. Right. But it was too
that would
late.
be cool.
Yeah, no, I'm interested in doing something like that.
Now, with the blue, can you have different gradations of it?
I can, and I can mix it with gray.
Okay, so you can mix it with black.
I didn't really start experimenting with that till after the whole book was done, and I finally had I really didn't look over the book with the editor, like the art of it, until the book was completely finished, which was unfortunate because it would have saved me months of time, right? But I was really proud of that when I figured that out, where I was just like cutting chunks of the sky really and using different erasers to soften it up.
That's nice.
Also, I'm constantly Googling, like, car crashes, flipped sedan.
Yeah.
Like, or, like, hurricanes, tornado damage. I look up tornado damage stuff all the time. In the original version of this, oh, there's the bird.
Oh.
In the original version of this...
See, actually, the bird is a really good addition because it does create that foreground.
I think it gets cut out. I'm not sure. I can't remember.
Okay, well, I would remove it. I'd remove it. I'd remove all that.
What am I doing now?
I like this punk rock house.
Oh, yeah, so all the houses have spikes on it? So that, like, you don't want a creature to step on it?
Step on it? Oh, okay.
Oh, no, so I'm figuring out the next page on top of this page for some reason. I don't understand why I chose...
That's awesome.
Is that what's happening? I don't know what's going on here. What am I doing? I do know that this bird I specifically chose because it's one of the few birds that go to North America and also the Pacific Islands. And they're water birds, so they live on the water mostly. And so
That'd be a weird life.
I had a subplot that may show up in a book one day where, like, people were smuggling information out of Cloudtown by, like, tying RDF tags to these birds that was, like,
cool. That's
get
a good
to
idea.
mainland.
Yeah, I like that.
There's a lot of stuff like that. Scents are gone.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It is.
So you finished the whole book, showed it to the editor, and they said, "Okay, we got some notes."
Well, we did the script a lot. A lot of it was in script editing.
Oh, okay.
And
All
if
right,
I were
that's
going to
good.
do it again, I have really concrete ways of how I would try to interact with the editor. And one thing I would want to do is I would want to maybe not do scripts. I want to do tight outline. I would want to do thumbnails.
Right.
And I would want to have approval on at least a chunk of comics that has every style that'll be in the book.
For the dialogue, would you still use script, or would you like?
No, because it's
Like, how do you go about tightening the dialogue?
In outline and in script, like, that is like a screenplay, right?
Right.
But screenplay dialogue, if you actually get the original version of the screenplay,
it's all
isn't
over
what's
the
on
place.
camera.
Right,
So, like,
right.
while you're doing it, that's like your improv time. That's like in the edit. That's like the live dialogue, and then you cut stuff down. So
Right.
I always feel like in the actual comic making, you can cut out a lot of dialogue,
Right.
or you can be like, oh, I'm realizing that this might be confusing to people. I can have someone complain about something.
Yeah,
you
there's
know.
also just the space demand too.
Yeah.
Like, so you have to make sure the dialogue's really crisp.
I mean, that's
You know,
one of the
so-
problems with scripting.
So it moves
is
forward
like,
each panel.
yeah, and also just the page, just feeling the page out and feeling how much space is going to get filled, and having room
Yeah.
for jokes. Because
Yeah.
visual jokes take pages. Like if you want someone to fall, like slip and fall in Banana Pill, that might be 2 pages.
Yeah.
You know, like, so if you don't leave allowance and space for that,
Right.
it can be a problem.
What about the who's on first, what's on second?
Yeah, it's a whole graphic novel.
That's a whole graphic novel.
My-
Abbott and Costello by IDW.
My mom was just at a lecture by some children's book author that was very successful. He's in his 60s, and he's like, oh yeah, someone tried to hire me to do a graphic novel, and I asked how many pages it was and what it was paying, and I was like, no.
What you get paid per page for a children's book is so much better.
It's a bigger... kids need to read more children's.
No, kids.
I mean,
Read comics.
Yeah.
Or just read.
Yeah, reading's good.
At
So
this point,
this was also a back and forth thing, because originally I wanted my pen name to be BeanCanDan.
Yeah.
So I had, or just BeanCan, so that was a back and forth.
It's a good tag name.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just hard to. I'm so sorry to the other Daniel Patrick McCloskey, like, because I've spent.
Apple just like
gave up on us.
Screw it.
Alyssa, it's all right.
What?
It's all right. You gave up. It's okay.
Oh, I didn't give up. I need my chair space.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Cool.
Here, I'll switch.
Oh Jesus! All your horror
man,
manga.
do I have to buy these now?
Yeah. Well, Kurt just bought 4 more books.
Okay.
All
All
right,
right.
you're in.
All right.
You're in.
Tag team.
Were you listening?
A little bit. I was kind of using my Crayola crayons and coloring.
I mean, you're also at work. So.
Yes, I am also working.
This is just like one of the pages I drew. It was like early on, I think. Although I would have been coming back to it a lot because it's like the opening page of Cloudtown.
How long did it take to draw this?
I have no idea. Everything took for. I guess we on the time lapse replay we're at 14 hours and 53 minutes.
Damn. Did you use photos for it?
I did not.
Okay,
It
cool.
did not occur to me to do that.
Damn, so that's from imagination?
Yeah.
That's really good.
I started using photos a couple of times, like in the last few months of working on the book, and I was like, wow, this is awesome. It takes no time. If I just, like, I was like drawing a street scene, and I was like, wait, and I just like went outside, like stood on a little ladder, took a picture of my street, brought it in, traced it, and I was like, wow, that was smart. Let's do that.
Wait,
more.
at what point in your comic did it take for you to realize that you could use photos?
I mean, well, I didn't do that until it was almost done. It felt like, I also like have like weird preconception. Yeah, I almost put a monster there. I was like, no, too much. Like, I have weird preconceptions about what is like real cartooning. Oh, see here, Kurt, what you're saying is like I tried doing the different tones there.
Right.
But by the time I came back and did this, I had finished the book. So the first half of us seeing me trying this drawing, I hadn't drawn the book yet, and then I went and drew the whole book, and then came back and messed with it. By the time Amulet there showed up, I didn't even know what the imprint was.
Like how it might be a good thing to like look how the guy on Attack on Titan, either the manga or the anime, draws scenes within a walled area.
Yeah, that dude knows how to scope cities.
I mean, just
pull
as
up an example?
reference.
In
as
this or
reference.
that?
I haven't read the manga, so I don't.
The original art for it was pretty bad, honestly.
Well,
But,
it's
like-
expressive.
Yeah, that's what I
It's
said.
expressive. The colored
It's
versions
got no,
are
but they
shit.
really drew it. Oh yeah, the Carl version.
Colored versions. I mean, don't read the color versions. I'm sorry. Like this is just garbage.
What about this?
This
Oh, Jesus. The gods. I think you're.
Is it upright?
No, it's backwards.
Oh.
So the Attack on Titan fans psychically like
don't
how
diss my
dare
comics.
you criticize?
So like this is like, what am I even
Our
doing
story.
anymore? What is going on?
Yeah,
so
why are
this,
you adding on
oh
to
yeah,
it now?
this is a different page. I just started
No.
drawing a different page
That's
on top
garbage.
of this.
The
That's
coloring's
smart.
garbage. The art,
Is it smart?
Well,
Why would
I mean, I guess if it's just a different thing completely and not related